Hi, before we moving to the next episode where we will implement the database type, I will introduce you a new tool which is called migrator. This tool is important. There are many different kind of solutions, different languages. I will present with mine, which I've created a couple of years ago. They almost all of them does almost the same. This is a raw SQL migrator. So what is it for? So you can create your database schemas with migration files, and you can play them and you can roll them back as well. And you can this way it is possible to keep a track how your database schema changed, and also you can replay anytime. For example, if you need a test database, you can replay it and you have a test database. So it's a very important tool, and all the corporates, bigger companies are definitely using some kind of migrators. So let's just jump in and let's have a look. Okay, now let's crack on. I just opened the project. I've created a file already. This is Docker Compose YAML. This Docker Compose file will help us to spin up easily a Docker container with a MySQL database. If you're not familiar with Docker, there are a lot of resources online. Just a quick explanation. This Compose file will define a MySQL database, which is version 8. The container name will be MySQL IT-Atti. I don't want this to be restarted all the time. In the environment, we set a default password, default database name, username, and MySQL password, which is not the root password. I will map the port to my local port, the same port, 3306, and I will create a volume because I want to preserve the data. So that's it. Let's see how we can spin this up. I will say docker compose up, and I will see -d. -d means daemon. It will run as a daemon, so it will run in the background. And it was very quick because I already have MySQL installed, so it did not have to pull the image from the image repository. And we have the MySQL running. We can check docker ps, and it's saying MySQL IT-Atti, it's running fine. So the next thing is to install the tool which I mentioned to you, the migrator. This is a Go tool. Let's see, clear. I've already prepared, and I will drop the link in the description below. This is the Git repository, and all the instructions are here how you can do that. So let's search for MySQL setup. You need to create a file called migrator. Let's just copy this. I move this away. New file, migrator, and let's see what comes into the migrator if I have a MySQL. Let's just copy this. The connection is MySQL because this migrator can handle different kind of databases like Postgres, Firebird, SQLite, whatever. And this table prefix, we always the migrator will create a table inside the database, and this table will be prefixed with this one, but I can remove this because there is a default one, so I don't need that. And all other what we have to do, let me split the screen into two and go to the Docker Compose. I just need to provide these values. MySQL root password, I don't care because I'm not going to connect it as a root. MySQL database name is to do, so let's search for MySQL database, and that's to do. MySQL user is my user, so username is my user, and my super secret password is my password. And I hope I've got everything right, but we'll find it out very quickly. But there's something else I would like to set, so let's go back to this, and there's something called where we will store the migrations. Yeah, I just found it, and this is migrator migration path. So if I put this one in, I can provide a folder where the migration files will be located. It's called migration. So let's create that folder. and I have that folder. Okay, now let's start using it. Let's say migrator. No, first we have to install the tool. I come back here. It should be somewhere at the beginning, and that's it. You just copy and paste, put into your console. For me, it will be quick because I already have the tool. Actually, it's updating, so I did some modification on the tool. Okay, it's done. So if I type migrator, then it should show you what you can do with the migrator. If you want to get some help, you can also type, I think, migrator help or something like that. Yeah, and this will give you a full description how it works. This is the same what you have seen in the README file. So let's go to migrator and see, let's say migrator add, and for example, user. If I do that, it will create two files, a rollback file and a file. You have to put row create SQL statements here. And I just asked ChatGPT to give me a MySQL create table just for fun. And the rollback, I will say drop table. And I created something called users. Let's create another table. Let's say migrator add, like address. And it's created a migrator and a rollback file. Let's call it address. And line 1, line 2, doesn't matter, it's absolutely irrelevant in this case. And let's create another one. Let's call it like accounts, and let's copy this into the account cycle, and now account number and sort code. Absolutely doesn't matter in this example, just example. Let's do some rollbacks, which is drop table address. I went into the wrong place. No, it's account. I think I made a mistake in the create table accounts. Yeah. And addresses, it will be drop table addresses or address. You can use semicolon if you want, that's not necessary. I will use it just so it's identical in all places. Yeah, it's all there. And now let's see the magic. Migrator, migrate. If I didn't make any mistake, it's created 3 tables. If I say migrator rollback, then it's rolled back and I don't have any more tables. Let's add something new. First, let's migrate, then add like jobs, doesn't matter. Create a jobs table. Content, doesn't matter. And drop the jobs tables in the rollback script. And if I run migrator add, migrator migrate, it will already migrate 1 item because the another 2 is already in the database. But I can do something like migrate rollback, and I can say a number 2. Then it should roll back 2, but I have a error in the rollback script. Let's start this last bit again because I forgot to save the create table. So migrator migrate. I don't have anything to migrate, and I can say migrator rollback 2. It will roll back only 2 items. If I say migrator rollback 2 again, it will roll back another 2 items. Then it's nothing to roll back. Now say, let's say migrator migrate 2. It will already migrate 2 items, then 1, then 1, then 1. There's nothing. If I say migrator rollback and I don't say any number, it will already roll back the last items I did. Another 1 item I did, then 2 items I did, and nothing to roll back. So you can replay and roll back and replay, and it will even remember when you rolled back something or when you migrated something and how many items were migrated last time. So you can easily manage your database, and you can recreate your empty database if you want. There's something else, migrator report, and you can see what have you done with errors, because I forgot to save the to-do jobs table. I had errors as well. So that's the migrator tool. This is what we're going to use. I will now roll back everything. Nothing to roll back, so I already rolled back everything. So this is what we will use in the next episode. I'm just deleting those. I don't need them anymore, and we will create a table for a database to store to-dos list. And see you in the next episode. I'll see you with the database implementation. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you find it interesting. Bye.